you open up about what you talked to the team about, and then what the plan is for getting ready for your next game in 6 days?
Yeah, I told them, the once is an anomaly, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. And I promise the Owl fans, we spent an exhaustive amount of time over the bye week studying second half, play calls, red zone, both sides of the ball, even to the point where my tone was different with the team at halftime. We went out a little bit earlier so they could warm up. We're trying to uncover every stone as to why in the second half we don't play as well. And obviously I have to look at myself, and we as coaches need to look because it's a bit perplexing. I gotta be honest with you. To see the same, offensively, to see the same looks defensively and have the same calls that were successful in the first half not be, it's perplexing, and same defensively. So we need a big shot of confidence right now, and my biggest challenge, our biggest challenge as coaches, I think, with a short week on the horizon, I think our guys will be able to move on from this pretty quickly. We've got to figure out what we can do well and what we can sustain doing well, because you don't ever want to be a jack of all trades and master of none. And I think part of offensive and defensive football, you poke and prod a little bit early and you find things that work, and things that give you an advantage, and those same advantages were still there in the second half, and for some reason we didn't capitalize. So it's a bit perplexing right now, especially considering the time, effort, and energy that we put in to correcting some of those mistakes that showed up again tonight. So I don't have great answers right now, other than again, we dug ourselves a hole, and the first thing we got to do if we want to get out of this hole is we got to stop digging. We got to stop being our own worst enemy, and then we've got a confidence issue, and I'm trying like hell to make these guys believe how good they can be. I don't know what more evidence you need than to watch us for extended periods of time look like a well-coached, well-executing football team, and then something happens. And again, I'm a bit perplexed right now because we did put so much time and energy into correcting it, but there's no rest for the weary. We got to get back up tomorrow and figure out a way to not beat ourselves. We're not worried about East Carolina as much as not beating ourselves.
So it seemed like USF kind of took a hold of momentum there when they stopped FAU on 4th down, deep inside of their territory. Do you think, is that a scenario where you guys are always going to be aggressive, and looking back on it, is there any regret having gone for it there?
No. I mean, we got to do a better job, but if we can't make 1 yard when we have to, I mean, we're going to have a lot more problems than the decision as to whether to go for it or not. No, I don't. We've missed 2 field goals. No, we got to do better. I got to figure out what we can do better.
So, Coach, you go into halftime. What was the tone and the type of talk that you had to your team? All right, we're ahead at halftime, okay? You tell them we have to keep this up, or what do you tell a team that's up at halftime, let alone you don't know what's going to happen in the second half?
again, it was a bit different, you know, I wanted them to see, you know, that how well we were playing and the good things that we did. I told them we missed one tackle on defense, which led to a huge run. We should have had more guys there. We're gonna miss tackles. And we should have had more guys there to help. And then offensively, you know, we needed to finish a drive there. I think it was in the second quarter. But I reminded them, I said, guys, we're on track. You know, we're on track. We're making yards. We're stopping them, save for one drive. And that was different for me. You know, normally it's, hey, we can't have the, you know, missed tackles, or we gotta be able to finish, you know, and it was more trying to remind them of how well they were doing. So, yeah, you asked kind of what the message was, that was it.
On the offensive side of the ball, you know, CJ Campbell is taking really big steps every week, really improving week after week after week. How have you seen him develop from, you know, the first week of the season against Michigan State till now?
Well, I think he's understanding maybe the run schemes a little bit better. I think his patience has improved, certainly. Vision has improved, definitely. But, I mean, we knew he was a good player. You know, I think our offensive line is playing better at times in front of those guys. I thought Zoo, I don't know what his numbers are, Zoo, save for that fourth down run, had a pretty good night as well. So I like CJ because he's so versatile. I like CJ first and foremost because he's a really, really good teammate and a great leader, freaking unbelievable young man. Now, I like him on the field on game day because he is so versatile. You know, he's great out in space. He's good between the tackles. He's good in protection. You know, he's got great hands. So, yeah, he continues to merit more touches, and I think he was our leading receiver against North Texas. I think he was our second leading receiver tonight. You know, so we're going to continue to find ways to get him the ball on that side.
Coach, your defense forced 4 punts in the first half, only one score. Coming in the second half, it was 6 straight scores. Was there something that was working them in the first half that got away from them a little bit in the second half?
I wish I had good answers for you. No, they were running inside zone counter and taking shots, and that's kind of what they were doing in the first half. And so, yeah, that's the perplexing part. We got to figure out, you know, why in the first half we were executing, and in the second half we weren't.
So Coach, to go into the game on a national stage here, this was an opportunity to sell Florida Atlantic University. And of course, you had a good state rivalry with USF. So what were your players' mindsets on, hey, we're on the national stage, this is an opportunity for us to really show what we're all about, and then all of a sudden we saw what transpired as the game went on.
Well, I hope that the stage doesn't matter. I hope, you know, we'd be willing, able, and excited to play that game in the parking lots, you know. And so there was no talk. We've got to prove to ourselves before we worry about what anybody else in the country can do.
Right.
We got to prove to ourselves how good we can be.
Are there any updates to Goggins, Phil,
Goggins, the one note I got, I usually ask the trainer to give me guys that couldn't return. And the only one he gave me was Wendell Fallord, a hamstring re-aggravation on that. Am I missing any on that? I don't think so.
Coach, it seemed like there was a bit of an extended conversation with Phil after the game. Was there anything of substance to that, or was that just?
No, I wish there was a conversation, but no.
All right, thank you.
Hmm?
Thank you.